Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to do a Nepenthes video, and I wanted to talk about Ampullaria. I was just bringing mine out, and I was going to do some maintenance on it, and I thought I would bring you along, give you a little bit of care and cultural tips as we go along, just on how I grow my personal plant. And yeah, we'll do some trimming and get rid of some dead leaves, talk about the potting, talk about the light, talk about all kinds of stuff about Ampullaria, Nepenthes Ampullaria today. So I've had this plant for a very long time, very long time, and it's really funny when I see people, or I read about people that go, yeah, I've been doing this for so many years, I've been doing it for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and they never show any big plants, and it's always funny to me. So when I say I've been growing this plant for many years, I'm not talking about this one, I'm talking about this one here. So this is the Ampullaria we're going to be working on today. This one is just my little one that I like to hold while I'm talking. It's got some nice pictures on it, but this guy here that's as tall as me, that's the one we're going to be working with today. So let me get the camera down and let me get this plant up. I don't even know what we're going to do. Hopefully it doesn't hit the roof. Let's try to move it first. So this guy here grows in my warm side of the greenhouse. You're kind of on the door of the warm side. I'm in the cool side right now, which isn't really that cold right now. It is 80 Fahrenheit or 27.1 Celsius. So the door is open. Hopefully the air conditioner doesn't kick on for us and cool us down. But yeah, I brought this Ampullaria out from the warm side. It's sort of tucked in a shady spot. Ampullarias, at least in my experience, don't do well in much sun at all. They like it kind of shady. So that's how I grow mine. I grow mine shady. This one, when I was pulling it out, I was looking at the tag. It's been in the pot for almost 2 years, and we'll show you the pot in a second. So it's going to need to be repotted this year as well. When I go to repot something this big, best thing to do, summertime is the time to do it. I can't do it in the winter. I'm going to take this thing out to the grass, and oh no, you know what? This isn't the one. My Rafflesiana, it was right beside it. You think this one's big? My Rafflesiana is hitting the roof. I didn't want to bring it out because it was like tucked in there so tight. It's like up there though, like touching the roof now. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, so anyways, when you repot these guys, I take them out to the lawn. I always like to stake them. So they're always pretty easy to deal with until they get much bigger than this. Then, but what I do is I lay them down, pull the pot out once they're laying down, take the hose, kind of mix it up, wash out the old media. Then the tricky part is lifting it up with very little media, putting it back in the pot, sort of filling in the media around it. It's not too hard once you've done a couple of them. You would have trouble doing it in your house. And like I say, I can't do it in the winter, it's just too cold. So I do all these kind of giant repottings in the summertime. Before we get to that one, my Cebuensis here, which is a warm or a cold grower. I'm growing it cold, which I don't know if you're going to be able to see if I can lift this up enough. Maybe, yeah. It's got some nice big pictures on it. It's in a much bigger pot than this one because it's actually a much bigger plant. That plant is actually above my head here as well. It starts on the ground and goes up and around, and this is a flower spike from the basil shoot, and there's actually a flower spike up there as well. So they do definitely get big once you've been growing them for a few years. So anyways, that's why I find it comical when people say they've been growing Nepenthes or carnivorous plants for 15, 20 years and they don't have any big ones. It's really weird. Anyways. So, let's see if we can move this up to the table here. And yeah, it's always so tucked away. So this thing, I tucked it away. We'll move this a little bit over here maybe. Can we turn you? I tucked this thing away. Let's see. There's the top of it up there. And the bottom of it there. We'll turn the camera around in a second so that we can get a better shot of it. I'll actually move the tripod and stuff like that because we're still pretty far away. But yeah, I tucked it in there last summer and haven't thought of it since. So we're just going to take a look at the basil shoots coming out, all the little pictures down here. Ampullaria is really hard. Oh, now you're looking at the wrong spot again. What are you doing looking down there? Ampullaria is really hard to get any kind of upper pictures. I've let these things, the tendrils, grab onto like the wire racking for my hanging walls there, and they grab on tight and then they just keep climbing up. I had to actually break a couple tendrils off the hanging wall because they were holding the plant up. but I'm not doing any kind of picturing. So that's the only thing that kind of sucks about the Ampullaria is once they get big. But at least they readily throw out these little shoots down here. So what we're going to do is we'll take the camera, we'll turn it around, give you a good look at it. It's not the most exciting Ampullaria. It was one of my first Nepenthes. I think this is a Malaysian Tropicals clone. And I think it's just a speckled with a red lip or something like that. But anyways, I'll show you the pictures. There's one really nice picture on it, and I think I broke off another picture or a four-ring picture, but I can't find where it fell if I did break it off. But it definitely looks like I did. Yeah, so let's bring the camera down. Okay, so quickly move the camera there. So first off, check out this. This one I was really happy to see. Good size picture on it. And then, because it sits on the ground, it's buried in there. I had no idea what this was going to look like. I can spray it with the hose to water, like in this little part here. And that's about it. It's got like a bunch of stuff in front of it. And I was counting on the top eventually doing some picturing, but that's just not going to happen. So I'm just going to start by taking some scissors and cleaning it up while we talk a bit. Get rid of all these dead pictures. I've missed all these pictures. That one here was one that is just finishing up. You'll see a bit of red on the leaves. Let's see if we can look at that. I'm pretty sure that's just from every once in a while they get a hot day or some hot sunshine on it. These leaves are years old too. Keep in mind because it's 4 feet above that at this point. But yeah, it looks good down there. It looks really good. Other than the fact that it's so big, I was gonna maybe cut the stem and do some cuttings, but I can't bring myself to doing it. I don't know, I just can't do it. So I'm not going to do it because I don't want to. And this thing is could make so many cuttings. It's way bigger than I thought it even was when I pulled it out. But yeah, let's just clean it up a bit and see what's down here. So if I did cut it, I'm sure it would like totally bush out down here. It'd be a nice little pot, probably pretty awesome. It might be something I'll do in the future. Maybe I'll do a video on it even. But I was like semi-ramped up to do it today, and then I just pulled this thing out. And it was so gorgeous, so I didn't bother. I'm just trimming off some dead leaves at the moment and dead pictures, stuff that I don't normally see. I see it's got like little bits of I don't know, stuff everywhere. It needs a good hosing off is what it needs. Ampullarias have this like weird fuzz on their leaves. I'm sure there's a technical term for this fuzz, but I'm going to call it fuzz. And if you do much wiping, it actually wipes the fuzz off. And I can't think that it's all that good for the plant if the fuzz is all wiped off. So, like a Cebuensis or a Rafflesiana, you can just like take a cloth and clean off the leaves and wipe it off. But this I'm trying not to do that with, because even just touching that fuzz like removes it. And I'm sure it's there for a reason. Looks like it's potted in sphagnum moss and perlite. I'm just sort of digging in the pot there. This one I repotted last June 2016. Always write the date on the tag when you repot it. Even if you think you're going to remember, you'll get so many plants going that you'll totally forget. So, and I'm happy with plants in their pots for 2 years, and then I start to kind of get worried a little bit. I don't want the media breaking down too much. There's another. I don't know if you can. How much can you see me working here? I'm right here now, behind this leaf, cutting off another big picture. See? Cut. That's all I'm doing while we talk. So yeah, for temperature-wise, the night times are about 70, which is like 21, and the daytimes on that side it gets hot. We're probably looking at like 90 Fahrenheit, so that's got to be like 35 Celsius. They definitely like the heat. The Ampullaria is the only one that I've seen, that I've personally seen, that oh, there's another. Look at that piece. Look at that picture on there. I just found that one. It's been squished a little bit when it was growing, but because it was just like in between some leaves. But that's a nice one. Ampullaria is the only one that I've seen in my greenhouse ever get cold damage, and that was before I had a hot and a cold side. My greenhouse would get down to 15 Celsius sort of thing, and even sometimes colder. And this would look almost like this here. This is, I'm pretty confident, from sun like a few years back. But the cold damage kind of, it goes around the edge of the leaves and it's like brown and yellow and quite nasty looking. But I I don't really see any now. Those leaves are probably gone. It would have been when it was down lower, like way down here, like these leaves down here, when it was still like a baby plant. So yeah, there's like lots and lots of stuff going on down here. This is why I'm so tempted to actually chop this plant, because man, it's starting to have the basil shoots down there. Holy cow! Look at this. I'm gonna bring you in. Look at all those things coming out there. So they're all going to produce beautiful pictures, just like this and like this. Such a lovely plant. Such a nice looking plant. But yeah, so what else can I tell you? Like I say, I might one day this summer take it outside and give it a hose off. But just to kind of clean it up a little bit more. I could do that right now, actually, just take it outside the greenhouse door and do that with you guys. We could do that. And yeah, so we talked about the media. We talked about how much light it gets. We talked about the temperature, humidity on that side. Okay, so now I have got 2 hydrofoggers in the greenhouse. You might go, why do you have 2 hydrofoggers? Each one puts out quite a bit of fog itself, and that is true. But in the wintertime and at nighttime, I roll down the door in the greenhouse to keep the sides separated. It's a barrier between the 2 sections, and especially in the wintertime, not so much this time of year, the heat comes on in the greenhouse. So what I was finding, not last winter because I got this hydrofogger last winter, but the winter before, was with the heat on in the warm side, it was really drying because there was only the hydrofogger in the cool side. So I ended up getting one for each side. They're both controlled independently. On a hot day when the humidity is trying to drop on me, both of them run. Other than that, they run sort of independently when they need to. A lot of times the one in the back and the cool side will actually run more because there's fresh air venting in from the cool side. As part of my first stage cooling, I just start bringing in fresh cold air. Second stage cooling is the air conditioner. But for first stage, and in BC here, it is very dry in the summertime. So the air I bring in is very dry. But yeah, so I put a hydrofogger over there, and the humidity I have it set at about 90%. Give or take, I would say 3 or 4%. I don't trust the gauge totally, but I'm just working on some upper leaves. But yeah, I would say it's probably about 90%. But it's nice because as soon as that heat kicks on at any time, not right now because it's July, but when the heat kicks on, the hydrofogger will just keep it like totally humid on that side. That is the humidity over there is what I attribute all my great roots growing to in my orchids and cattleyas, and what I think, you know, that's why I have fairly good picturing going on here. So all of these pictures though, these ones here, they are on the bottom, like at my feet. This thing sits on the floor. It gets like 0 light basically. It gets some morning sun, and then it's definitely shaded in the afternoon. This, as you go up, zoom out, up. That up there does get because it's so high, it gets some morning and it gets some afternoon sun. So it's much brighter up there than it is down here, just like it would be in the wild. You know, in the wild they're growing on the ground in a shaded or with a canopy shading them above. So yeah, but I'm excited about this. This is nice. I wonder if I can shoot. I'm so debating on chopping this guy because I just want to see this thing like flourish down here, and it's pretty big anyways. Nope, I'm not going to do it yet, guys. I can't do it. But if I do, I'll bring you along for it. So anyways, that is my ampullaria and my ampullaria care. There's not much I've had to do. This thing has been sitting there untouched down here for like a full year, probably since June of 2016. It's been on the ground. All I do is water it from right there, and it's been just thriving down there, doing great. I had no idea it was about to explode with so many basils here. I knew there was 2. These things here are basils that were on it last year when I repotted it, and they were about 6 inches at that time. So they're now 14 inches or so. So it's grown about a foot in a year on those ones, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, No, so let's just take you around to this side here, see if we can get you in for one more shot, different angle. It's going to be all crooked and stuff because tripods don't like to be just grabbed and moved, but look at that. Nice looking, really nice. Alright, the last thing I said I was going to do was hose it off, and I'm going to try. I have a stupid hose like this that retracts nicely when not in use, but when in use it sucks. And I thought I was going to just try to not step on the mic cord too much. Give me my foot back and give this just a little rinse off. I want to weigh down the pot. I'm not on level ground, so it's kind of like rocking because it's like hard ground down there. But yeah, that will do it really good to just give it a bit of a cleaning and get all the dust off of it. And my greenhouse has hot and cold water, so this is just like a tepid mix. It's like room temperature. It comes out. It's not hot, but it's not cold, and won't do the plant any harm. You know, if I did this in the greenhouse more often, maybe it would picture for me on these uppers here. But anyways, I hope you like this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye guys.